cannot believe it is back to homeschool time already, and this is our 4th school year of the co-op here with the HMH Academy, which is so cool on so many levels. But I know we've got a lot of big changes, a lot of updates, a lot of information coming out for parents here. And so kind of as homeschool moms, talking to homeschool moms, like I thought it would be great to just take a minute here. I have my coffee in hand and we can kind of chat a little bit about just the changes and what's coming up with the Heavenly Minded Homeschool Academy's co-op. It is online. I know that's a question we get asked frequently. It is an online co-op, so you can join regardless of where you are. And I was so thankful for anybody here who doesn't know, this is my mom, Miss Dorothy. Most of the kids call her Nan. And this was a co-op that we started, a little over 4 years ago now, because we started it with just my kids at first to kind of try this out. Excuse all the dogs running down the hallway. But it really was something where I think it's really cool to see where we have found this great balance of, I know many homeschool families do participate in local co-ops, and that's great, right? It's usually, you need a day a week or whatever and do some fun activity. And for us, it was really an online co-op kind of filling the void there of areas of school or areas of just some extra enrichment needed to the core of your homeschool. So while we do have some fun extra things that we do, we really focus on the core areas. And I think that's interesting because, some people go, oh, well, I do a local co-op. And I go, oh, that's great. That's fantastic. Our goal is to come alongside of you, to work with you and support your family, but to be a complement to that. So while we focus on more of the core things and the things that they're doing throughout the week, we try to make sure that it's as flexible as possible to be the best fit for as many, because you never can be the perfect fit for everybody's schedule, but kind of being that complement to it. And I think that I will speak, while I'm here with you, you're the one runs the show here, and I really just add in the 2 cents as a parent with all my kids in the classes. Here's my 2 cents to add in. But I just think that this co-op has been such a blessing. It started off with just you doing all the classes, and now we have a full schedule year round. This year we're going to have 1, 2, 3, 4. Are we 5 teachers this year? 5, right? I'm like trying to make sure I have everybody. 5 teachers, full year-round schedule, so that you can pick what works best for you. And it is from our youngest little itsy bitsy, kindergartners, all the way up through our high schoolers. And I think the fact that it has grown to this is just such a blessing, again, with our goal being to come together in a faith-focused environment. And as homeschool parents, to have additional teachers and others with different skill sets that we can kind of lean on to, help us with those really hard things, like teaching little ones how to read, right? That can be so difficult and intimidating as a parent. We have Bible classes for all ages. Teaching your children the Bible can be a little intimidating, right? Like that can be a difficult thing. Teaching our kids how to write, let alone foster a love of writing within them. These are all things that can be really difficult. And then just some fun things for the kids to be able to, get on and do with their friends and kind of have that community as well. So I guess that's kind of like a gist what the HMH Co-op is. But I know we kind of want to get in here and just chat with you all about some of the specific changes. So especially if you've been in the co-op before, you've tried it before, kind of some things we noticed after the last school year, some changes we've implemented, and kind of how to come and get ready and get signed up for the upcoming classes. So is there anything you want to add, Mom? I don't want to just keep talking.
No, I think that was really good. I think what I'd like to do is just, talk about, so what is new and why do we make some of these changes? It kind of is kind of a twofold thing. One is, as we've gone through, like you said, this year was our first full year of having multiple teachers and all of us trying to feel our way, through what it would be like to work together cohesively, not only with ourselves, but, with the, as a team, but also as teachers and working with the families. And at the end of the year, we all kind of sat down and we did a lot of talking. We all met multiple times and really were discussing what we were seeing and what we were doing and what was working, what wasn't working. And then we reached out to the families and we sent out a poll and we said, hey, you know, so we asked them a bunch of questions and they were fabulous. Everybody responded. I'm so excited because you know, and you gave us some great feedback. And so we took it very seriously. And we took our own concerns and things that we were seeing. And we reached out to, of course, you know, beyond our team to get even more feedback. And what we have come to realize is we needed to redefine what we're doing and why. And one of the things that that has always been a driving force for the co-op is that my goal was to come alongside the parents. Homeschool, I've taught in multiple school districts from California to here, you know, in Tennessee, Virginia, whatever. But what I've noticed is the way the world is going and the difference in what we can accomplish together as homeschool parents and a homeschool, you know, resource is something that can help take some of the, I don't know, some of the issues that we kind of find as homeschool parents. I even homeschooled. I taught full time and homeschooled. So I totally understand where you're at. Trying to plan everything, try to feel like, okay, I'm not really good at teaching this, but I understand how to do this, but how do I mesh all this together? Well, my goal has always been, and I've said this many times, I told Heidi, you know, I love teaching. I love teaching. I have been doing this for 8 years. And here's the thing. I never get up in the morning the day I'm going to teach and say I don't want to teach. If I'm sick, I still want to come teach because I love being with your kids. I love being able to impart, how they're doing and what they need and listening to you. I love all of that, you know, working together, the collaboration part. I love that. That has been a driving force since I started way back when. When we were talking about doing this, I used to tell Heidi, I really want to teach homeschoolers, which takes away the whole thing of teaching them, of course.
I get it sounds like an oxymoron, but
but I can use my experience and use all the education that I've received, you know, because you don't just go to college. When you're done as a teacher, as an educator, you go to school every year. Every year you have to have so many credits. I mean, they make you go. So if they're going to make me go, I'm going to take the classes I want to take. So I have learned a lot. And if I don't know the answer, I still know so many people that are still out there teaching, or we're all kind of starting to go towards that retirement age. But the best part is I can always find somebody who may know. And so we do, so we still have those resources available. But here's the thing, like I said, I want to teach homeschoolers. I want to not just teach the homeschooler, I want to help the families. I want to help you be successful homeschoolers. I want you to find us as a resource saying, hey, when my kid does this, what do I need to do, or why are they doing this, or can you give me some extra help on something? This is how it all started, because I love doing this. I do. It's definitely the ministry where the Lord wants me to be. So all that being said, we were doing a lot of stuff this past year. We tried all kinds of new things because we really kind of wanted to check out all the resources. And then it turned into this big snowball effect. And we kind of made ourselves all crazy. And I'm sure we made a lot of families crazy, but nobody ever complained because you guys are so sweet. So what we did is we have taken everything that you have suggested, what you found difficult, what you really enjoyed. And so we have redefined what we're doing now that we are growing. And I think that's really important. And to make all this in a nutshell, what we are doing is we are stepping back a day. We have always taught 3 days for the most part. Most of our core classes are 3 days. We get together for 3 hours and, you know, we've got lessons and we have activities and then so forth and so on. And that's been our building block for you to have that as a resource as you're teaching your child. But we kind of feel too that, you know, with all of the classes that we have, we've kind of taken away some time that you also need. You know, we love the fact that everybody's reading and writing with us. We love that, and doing Bible, because those are super important, right? But at the same time, you have other classes that you need to be teaching. We understand that, but here's the best part. When you homeschool, this is your time to be with your children. It's your time to go and do fun activities. Go to the park, I don't know, sleep in, whatever you need to do, because there's going to be days when you need that too. But you need to have those opportunities to do those things and not feel like you're overwhelmed by everything that we have offered.
Yeah, it really was. And we went from a staff of 2, me and you, to 10. And we actually have 6 teachers this year. I thought of one more teacher. So we actually have 6 teachers this year. But we did, right? Like, that's how much growth we saw. And I'm thankful for that. But the growth part can be tricky because, again, a staff from 2 to 10 in one school year that we grew, and trying to facilitate everything. And we are firm believers that you put yourself out there, and if the Lord wants it, he'll bless it and grow it. And, you kind of figure those pieces out. And this is the point that I think is important to just be transparent in addressing, is that while it was wonderful, it is. Yeah. A couple aspects here is I started to notice from the parent aspect. I have 4 children. The oldest now has graduated, but participates still in the Bible classes as a student and kind of a helper there in his dad's class. And then also now as a teacher's assistant with the writing class. My 3 younger girls, they're all in classes. And I started to really notice that towards the end of our school year, we were burnt out. Because all the classes were so great, like the kids, right? So it's like almost like they were too good. The kids enjoyed them too much, which was wonderful. Like, I appreciate that. Yes. But things that I wanted to be completing in our homeschool were just becoming really stressful because everybody was in classes all day long, right? Like they wanted to take everything, which again is wonderful. That's great on the co-op end, but it was like, whoa, hold the phone. If our goal as the Heavenly Minded Homeschool Academy is to truly partner alongside of families and build up families, your homeschool, right? In your own home, having a full schedule where you're just dropping your kid off at the computer and they're going for it. Again, they might be learning great things and having a wonderful time. But if our goal is to help lift up and build up families in their own homes with their own homeschool, then maybe we're doing too much. And on the other side of that, we went from a staff of 2 to a staff of 10. This is a ministry. That means we have 10 individuals working more than full-time hours, pouring into this and not receiving anywhere near the level of compensation that really should be. And not that was what anyone asked for, because no one asked for it. But as the team lead here, we really had to start looking at this and going, okay, you all are pouring so much in, and praise God, thank you for it. But when you're having to put your own home things on the back burner because this is now demanding so much time from you, we have to make sure, all of us, no matter where we are, what we're doing, that we have our priorities in line. Our time with the Lord, our marriages, our children, our homes first, and then we pour into others. And I talk about this all the time, but we have to live it out. And I know for so many years of working at home and doing projects and things like that, I get those out of whack, and I have suffered the consequence of that so much. And it was like, no, we cannot. And I don't know if all of our staff was very happy with me over the summer when I said, okay, everybody, nope, our priorities have to be in order. And for our own walks with the Lord, our own homes, and for all of us women, our home is our first ministry. That is our first focus. And we are not truly blessing others if we're not keeping our priorities in line. And then looking at it from just a parent aspect of, we've offered so many great, wonderful things. This co-op has grown so much over the past 4 years, and it's amazing. But if our goal is to be lifting up families and helping support you, then we need to not act like an online school. We need to act like a co-op that's there to support you and lift you up. And so I think, making adjustments like Most every class now is going to be 2 days a week. We have a couple exceptions, and a couple of classes have at-home activities, which I want you to kind of talk about a little bit too, because I think that'll be so great. We have some things that are just 1 day a week. So, I mean, there's some different things, but kind of having a little less in class, like sitting on a Zoom, kids, and more involvement on the parent side, where you teachers now, who are a wealth of information, are really equipping us parents to continue these lessons and continue this teaching at home. And knowledge is just always going to return benefit to you. So the more that we learn how to do these things and how to work through this will be able to be, little tidbits of information now I have within myself to pour into my children, yes, and then use in whatever opportunity, I might have down the path. So I think we should always be learning, so it really does make a difference to see these changes. Like, yes, we're tweaking the schedule a little bit. Yes, it will be a little less as far as actual, seat time. But I think these additional resources that the teachers, for the majority of our classes, right? There's some fun classes. They don't necessarily have any extra lessons or things like that. But the fact that you're going to be putting together at-home activities, at-home lessons, things for us parents to be coming alongside of our children and working with them to help them in these areas before they go into class with you. That's what it's all about. And I think we kind of lost sight of that a little bit. And so while it is an adjustment from last year, I think it's a really good one. Again, keeping our actual goal in focus of building up and supporting families.
No, I totally agree. And when we sat down and we're thinking, okay, well, what would this look like? How would we go about it? What can we, I don't want to say let go of, but what could we find a way to really share that? For me, it was what would be the most beneficial for the parent. So for me, for my classes, I teach the reading classes. So I teach all the elementary, kindergarten, first, second, even maybe third kind of, how to read and all of that. And I use all phonics awareness. I use a lot of Orton Gillingham strategies. And so they're all research-based. Well, for me, I thought, well, I'm going to record and make mini lessons. And so the best part is, we're teaching, you're going to play the videos like on a Monday, Tuesday. You sit down with your child. When your child is ready to sit down and listen to the lesson, I'm going to walk it through. I'm going to do it. We're going to do it. And then your child will do it. And you'll do it along with them. So the best part is, one, you're going to get to see what they can and can't do. When you have questions, you're going to go, Miss Dorothy, when we did this part, they really struggled here. What do I do? So boy, you have okay. And then think about this. When you're all done, you're going to be going, good thing. I have 2 younger ones at home. Guess what? Now you're going to be equipped now. I'm actually kind of teaching your child and you, not only, how to perform these activities or these lessons, these just teach strategies and skills. But I'm also helping you understand what it looks like. Because reading is one of those, it's one of those subjects areas where we don't all feel, well-versed in. We can all remember probably on some level how we learned to read. Some of us just think, you pick up a book, you go ABC, a book. Okay, now let's just make words. That doesn't work that way. There's so many, and of course the English language is nuts. So,
and then some of us, my oldest learned to read because he went to government school for kindergarten and half of first grade. So that's where he learned to read. But then we didn't catch that he was dyslexic and had other issues. So then we had all kinds of struggles we had to unpack. My second child, I didn't even finish a reading lesson thing with her. She picked it up so quick. I was like, man, I'm really good at this whole reading thing. Look how well of a job I did, obviously. And then I came to kiddo number 3, and that poor child struggled like there was no tomorrow. And I was so lost and felt, I went into it thinking, I've got this. I'm like a seasoned homeschool mom. Look at me. And then this poor child, we had all these issues, right? Until the co-op. Now she's one of my strongest readers. I had to set limits and strict things because this kid's up all night long in her bed, reading. And I'm like, child, sleep. I'm like, why are you not waking up till 10:30 in the morning? I'm up reading all night long. kid, you know, like, so now our problem is she loves it too much. But, you know,
That's not a
sometimes
bad one. But
we
you're
run
right.
into those where all of a sudden you
Right.
think you've got it, then you start having issues and you're like, help, someone, anyone, you know, help me out here. And so it is, I've said before, I'm thankful, you know, right, I have a mom who's a teacher. And we know so many teachers, so many people that specialize in different things. I've always had this cool thing in my back pocket of, you know, dial a teacher. So when I had issues and had a child who was struggling or had this, I would call you up and be like, all right, mom, I have this writing issue. I have this, I have that, you know, give me some tips and tricks. What do I try? And so that's what I've done throughout our whole homeschool, because I didn't know anybody else who homeschooled. It was just me kind of lone man out, you know, trying to figure it out. And so I love in so many ways that with the co-op, we've been able to kind of bring that to other families, where if you're stuck, you have an issue. And I think having these lessons and activities at home, again, for all the classes
Yes.
But I think for so many of the families, you know, being able to now pull in, again, we have an amazing team. Every person who is here at the HMH Co-op is an answer to prayer. And again, we're not bringing y'all in because we're offering, you know, stacks and stacks of cash or benefits. You know what I mean? Like, you all who are coming in, like, you treat this is a piece of your ministries.
It is
and we have amazing teachers. I mean, you all are phenomenal. And I mean, I see it with my own kids in the classes, what they're getting out of it. And I think it is, you know, again, so wonderful just to have this understanding our goal of, you know, working alongside of the families, lifting them up, you guys having these at-home lessons in ways that as a parent, I can get more involved in this. And I think that's really the biggest pivot we're going to see this year is the depth of learning is not changing. I think if anything, it's going up, but the way that we're doing it is just being adjusted a little bit. So that way it's not just my kids, here's all their times, they sit down, they do their classes, and then I move on to the next. Yes, they have their times that they meet and they do their things, but then I'm being equipped. So our day of just school and learning together is becoming enriched even more. And I think that that is just going to be really, really important here with this new school year.
I think so too. And we spend a lot of time, all the teachers kind of talking about how best could that, you know, play out in our class? How best would that be beneficial to the families? And I'm real excited. I'm really excited to see how this year goes. I think that the parents are going to, you know, once they try it, they're going to go, wow, my kid can do what? Oh, wow. You know, they're going to love it. They're going to love it. And they're going to see, like you said, I really think that with everything that we're doing, that we're kind of, you know, moving around and kind of implementing, I think you're going to really enjoy it. It's going to be weird at first because, you know, we've all been doing things, you know, the same for a year, but I think having the 2 days a week for the teachers is going to be wonderful. Because one thing that we found out when we did our poll was, you were right. Nobody understands how many hours go into this co-op. When you're a teacher, it's really hard to not keep stopping and going, oh, wow, this is a great activity. This is a great activity. And then, oh, well, I can make that activity. So we're over here making it up. We're putting files together of all kinds of information. Now, this student really could use this. This student could use this, you know. So we were putting in probably close to 60 hours some weeks. And I didn't put in as much as that, but there were even times when I did but I'm home alone too. So I just keep looking, and I love Susan Jones. So I found another lady that I like too, that does Orton Gillingham. The more I've been studying with them, you know, so that is just the nature of a teacher. It just is. But the other thing was, a lot of our teachers, this is the first year that they've like sat down and had a classroom, for a while. So they were trying to also try new things, because it was like, wow, when you're teaching virtually, the biggest aspect that you miss out on as a teacher is that closeness. When you're sitting at a table, and I've said this before, when you're sitting at a table and your student's right there, you not only hear them clearly, but you can watch their mouth, you can see them, you can see what they're doing when they're touching things, you see the recognition of what's going on, you can see the cogs going, you just can. You don't get that when you're on a video call. Even if they are really close up, you just don't get to see that. And unfortunately, that's a big point to understanding if they're getting it or do they need help. And so we were looking at different things. I know we use Flip and different things like that. That's why we asked you to, hey, let your child do a reading so we can hear them. But, there's so many other things that go along with that. The other part is, and we've said this before, but do you want your child to be a reader? Do you want them to learn how to write well? Well, don't we all want that? Here's the thing. In order for a child to truly learn to read and write, they have to read out loud and they have to hear somebody else read out loud. And it's always a great thing when it's an adult that reads out loud using their reading voice. Children are going to read one word at a time. Parents can read more fluently, and they need to hear that. You have to model that for them. If you're in a classroom, you're going to get close to, 40 hours, well, not 40, but you're going to get close to probably 30 hours of listening to that fluent reading modeled in so many different avenues. And so they really need that. So we were talking about, we tried Flip and it didn't work, or did it work? But the teachers loved it. And what was even better, the kids actually loved it. They love to hear themselves. There's some other things that we're going to do with it as well. And so kids that want to share, they're able to share. But if not, they just share with the teacher. And I'll tell you what, teachers were able to give some pretty mighty fine advice and feedback from those. And that drives our instruction. It's so important. So we get to hear that. So we were kind of looking at all of those things, and all of that came into play. And again, what can we leave? You guys do it throughout the week, and then what do we need to do when they're with us? What would be most beneficial? So I think I'm really liking this new, the new mapping that we're going to be doing with the classes. And I think parents are going to enjoy it too. Most classes really are 2 days a week. The rest of the time, you're going to do it when you and your child are, having a great moment and a great day. You want to make sure they're up, they're fed, they've been outside playing and having a good time, and now they're not, they're not really tired, but they're ready to come in and play and
sit down and work,
to learn. Yeah. So I think it's going to be good. I'm really looking forward to that. And we're also offering extra time. 1 day a week for writing. We are going to be offering some extra time there. So that way students have an opportunity to come in and kind of get one-on-one or small group instruction when they need it, or, if they are available. So we've got a group of time, a set of time that they can sign up for. I think that's what I'm going to have them do. They can let me know they're coming, and then we make sure that everything's set up, and we'll be there and, help them out. So I'm excited. I'm excited. I think that the other part is, remember, we are your co-teachers. If something isn't working, or you're struggling, or you just want to say, hey, oh my goodness, I can't believe the difference in what's happening, call us. Send me an email and say, Miss Dorothy, I want to meet with you, because I love to do that, because I don't like to text, and I really don't like emails. But I love it when we get on Zoom and I can see your face, like Heidi knows. If I can see your face and we can have a real conversation, that's perfect. So I love it. And there's so many of you that do that, and I do appreciate it. I love it. Actually, we all do.
Yeah, we do. It is great. And I mean, really our co-op family, is just an extension of our family. I know you teachers, you all, pour into these families. We love lifting y'all up in prayer. If a kid is missing from class one day and you guys reach out, and then we get the faculty wide email, hey, y'all be praying for this family. They're going through, sickness right now. And so everybody knows, oh, absolutely. And I think it's great to see that community. Yes, sure. We would all love to do this. I wish we could turn our barn into like a one room schoolhouse and have everybody just over to the house every single
no.
week and like eat together and enjoy and play with the animals and do all of that. Like that would be wonderful. But until that day, we do it this way and we appreciate that. And so I think that's the biggest shift in everything. We are really excited. We have classes starting in August, and we have classes every month. We're basically putting a schedule out that is very year round because so many families work in different ways. We have kind of a rhythm within that though, where some classes are heavier some months than others. So there is we've noticed this all the years of doing this, kids get tired. They need a little bit of a break. Family needs a little bit of a break. And so there is a bit of a rhythm to it. So we focus on reading some months, we focus on writing other months. So that way the kids aren't trying to balance all of the things all at one time. It really, I think, allows for a very nice rhythm for the families where we have things we're doing, but it's no longer going to be so jam-packed every single month, right? That there's so much to do. So Bible classes are always going to be offered. We do have Minecraft Club for the students. So if they want something fun that they can get on, and I love it because it's like the last class of the day, they meet once a week and the kids can get on and kind of have like a fun playtime. And then they can get on and play. And kind of for our family, we usually give our kids, they have like a set time each day that once we finish everything, y'all can go have some playtime. They get on their little Minecraft world and have fun with everyone. But then again, like I said, we have some months we focus on reading, some months we focus on writing, right? So that way it kind of gives us a little bit of a balance, especially for our older teens and even our young adults. We're going to have some amazing church history and just apologetics classes coming out this year that I am so excited for. Those are going to be phenomenal. But I am very excited with this new website that we have coming out. And this is part of it is, I know we're kind of talking about this. We didn't really know how to price this when we started. We kind of just threw something out there. We've really never changed it. You know, we just kind of didn't know. But now that we've been into it, we're seeing the problems that we have, right? Trying to facilitate all of this, the systems that need to be made. Thank the Lord that He sent us Sabrina, and she has poured more into the back end of all of this and making everything work for everyone. But we really had to sit down and take a look at it and go, to run the website and the software. I mean, all the things that we need literally just to facilitate everyone. It's a lot. It's a lot of pieces. So we do have a new website coming out. We're not quite there yet, but we will have it set up to where you can basically pre-register for the whole year. I know for a lot of us parents, once we've been in it for a while, having to register regularly, you're like, because it really is. You want to be in as many classes as you can, because really you guys start at the beginning of the year and you work all the way through like a regular school year. If you find this later on and you want to come and jump in, you absolutely can. Right. But it really is meant to build upon, one month after the other. And so, the classes now, most of them run in like an 8-week schedule, with everything that they're doing. And so being able to get on and, get registered each month, get your private class pages, your parent hub. I mean, we have so many resources that have been built for the families to be able to facilitate all the things and make it as simple as possible. So that's where I say, we will be adding on the feature to where as a family, I mean, you can go on, you can just sign up each month and try things out and see what you like and move it around. For those of us who have been here for a minute, though, I think the biggest thing we're all going to be excited for is you will have the ability to pick all the classes you want, since most of us, we know these are the months we do stuff. These are the classes we want, check them all out. And then we'll just receive a monthly bill. And it'll be really simple, right? Instead of having to get on and remember to register, you can just pre-register. If you need to change something down the road, that's fine. You send us an email and say, hey, I need to change this. It's no problem. Right. The ability to just pick everything you want, and then once a month, you just get a bill and call it a day. Yes, please. Where do I sign up? So some of us might have really driven the want for that ability. But I think things like that, again, being able to build up our back end software that it can be so seamless, the administrative costs of all the things that have to happen. We have out of our team of 10 employees, only a handful of those get paid. And so far it had really only been the teachers, that had gotten anything, which rightfully so, but the more we did this, the more it grew, the more families we had in, we really saw the administrative side of it and just it's a lot of work. Like you said, I mean, we're all putting in full-time hours here and happy to do it. But you and I were really like, how do we make this work where we're seeing the costs to just operate are growing. We have to have certain things in order for this to work.
Right.
Covers that, that cost has to get covered. And then being able to make sure that, the teachers are receiving, something for their time, because they're pouring so much into us, for us families. And I'm so thankful to you all. And then being able to have, a little bit in the coffers that our administrative, team could be receiving, here, thank you so much, for your efforts, because people really are pouring so much into this, because we all believe in it, and we believe in the impact that it has. And so we're thankful for that. But being able, I think it's our responsibility as well to make sure that, everything's being taken care of, and, none of us are coming here because we're looking to be the next millionaire, but, to make sure that we are giving back to those that are working so tirelessly for our families and for this co-op here, I think is really, really important. So just as on the parent side of it, knowing, that's where your money goes. That's what happens, right? It goes to the teachers. It goes to the systems you're quite literally using. And it goes in a little bit also to our administrative team, to thank them for their we tell Sabrina all the time, please do not tell me how many hours you spend on this, because I will never be able to repay you for the time that you put in. But
never. And we want to be, very transparent too. So we did up the price a little bit, like $10, I think, on most classes, kind of a thing. So we can start paying our bills. We have just taken it out of pocket, you and I, for the past year, 2 years or so. And then Sabrina, everybody pays for their own thing, which is kind of how it's been. But now it's really, the ball is really rolling. So, like I said, we just want to be transparent. None of the teachers are actually getting more money. What we're doing is we're just trying to make the monthly bills, because they are coming in, and we figured if we could alleviate some of that.
If we cannot be going into the negative to put on the co-op, that would be the goal. Most of us are all going into the negative to make this happen.
But the Lord has just really blessed us with that. And honestly, one of our biggest blessings is Sabrina. We could not do this without her. And as much as, she would not like this, our goal is to make sure that if we could just give her a small percentage every month. So that way, if nothing else, she's not paying for all this, because she pays for all of that. And it's gotten huge. So, if we will do whatever it takes to make sure the bills are met. And actually, we don't even have to worry about it. The Lord will take care of that. But we do want to be transparent. We're not saying, okay, everybody wanted to raise. That's not what this is about. And so, but so we put it out there. We went ahead and we looked at, for the first time, adding a little bit more to the classes as far as a monthly amount. But we know the Lord in the end's going to take care of it. We don't worry about that. Here's the other part. Now, don't ever think, well, if I ask for a discount, because we have discount codes. We have discount codes for everything. 25%, 50%.
And if we don't have one, we can make one. So
we can make one. That's right. We can do whatever we want. You have multiple children. You know what? You could start off and everybody's working and everything's going good. Then something happens, like we've had that happen. Sometimes there's a lull in jobs or whatever, and things happen, or somebody, decides, okay, I can't do this job anymore. I got to go somewhere else, or whatever happens. Whatever the financial need is of our families, we will meet it. If it means that you have a month or 6 months or a year where you cannot pay for a class, or all the classes that you want to take, because we never say just choose one. You take the classes that your children need, the children want. It can be a fun class, it can be a core class, it can be anything. You take those classes and we don't worry about it. God provides, and we all feel that way. Matter of fact, sometimes we will contact you because if your child was in a class and all of a sudden they're not, and we might be thinking, we will reach out to you. And sometimes the children will just show up without you. I mean, that just happened too because they're welcome. It's not about the money, ladies and gentlemen. It really isn't. It's about coming in alongside of us and us going alongside you and your children. They become a part of our little families. They just do. And all the teachers feel that way. Every single one of us. We all are here as a ministry. We are here to lift you up and be supportive and to be here for whatever you need, whatever it changes. If things change in your life, it's not going to bother us. And I'm the only one that's going to know. And you just say, hey, Miss Dorothy, I need some help this month, or I need whatever. At any time, any moment, you just let us know. And trust me, it's not a big deal, and we expect it. And we are so grateful when you reach out. We don't share your information with everybody else. I don't even tell the teachers. They just like, oh, well, they don't even look. They don't even know. We don't even care. At the end of the day, we're just like, whatever. At the end of the month, we're always surprised. Oh, okay, let's go on to the next month. So it is something that, like I said, we don't share. Now, we might ask for prayer. We might be specific only if you allow. And we do ask that, like there's something going on in your family that you want us to pray for specifically, you can let me know. If not, then we just say, hey, pray for this family. And, not that we're already praying for you, but sometimes we'll let everybody know, like, there's something going on. So any of those things, please reach out to us. It's so important that we truly include you in our family prayers and our daily thoughts. And if financial issues, that's just part of what we have to talk about here. If something comes up, we're here to want to make that happen for you and for it to work. So just email me, HMH Co-Op at Gmail. And I get all of those myself. So I know, and I can.
Scholarships are available, and we make sure that it works for everybody. Again, we cannot reiterate enough. We know that the Lord will provide. It is a ministry first and foremost. And if that's what you need, then that's here for you. And we don't want anyone to not try something out or not use a resource that they know is helpful to them because of that, right? God provides. And if this can be a blessing to you and your family, even if it's just, taking a small percentage off to help it all work. I mean, we are very understanding of what, all of us here in it are like one income households, full-time homeschoolers, like all of that. So we get it like 1,000%, and we want it to be there and be available. And we know there are some families who have and can give, and, people make donations to the ministry and things like that because they know and they believe in it. They have that availability, they have that blessing, and it all works out in the end. And so we have classes available. Registration for each month does close the Tuesday before the classes begin. And so when you guys go to the website and go to sign up, you will see those dates listed, but just know that there is a registration close date for each month. So if you want to make it, you got to make sure to get in there and fill out your form. Like I said, we've tried to make it as simple as possible. You go to the website, which again, everything is linked down below. You go to the website, you can check everything out, see, meet our teachers, learn more about them, get their contact information. If you have any questions, we have spotlight videos coming out. They are long, they are lengthy because they talk about everything you need to know about these classes. And so I have everything linked on the website, and there's chapters on all of them. So if you want to learn about a class specifically, you can look at the little chapters and click on that to go to that area where that's being discussed. You're meeting the teachers, you're learning more about them. Our team here is so phenomenal. I'm just so thankful for all of you. And then when you guys go to sign up, it's really simple, but you'll click on the link to sign up and a little form will pop up, and you just click the classes you want. You just put in all your little info. You fill out one form per child, so that in order for our systems to all connect and put everything where they need to, it actually kind of makes it nice. Like, although it's separate transaction, it actually makes it nice as a parent because I just focus on one kid at a time, especially those of us who have multiple kids. So I start with my youngest usually. I click all the classes that I want for her, all of her details, fill out my information, pay, I get an email, good to go. Okay, next kid. Okay. And then I put in all of her info and I do that. It is really, really simple. Like I said, we will be adding on here in the coming months, the ability to pre-register for the whole year. So that will be really nice, because then you'll just do it one time for everything and be good to go. But even doing it month by month, you just fill that out, select what you need. You'll get a confirmation email, and then all of the parents will receive their private class pages. Again, everybody's privacy, especially for our students, is of the utmost importance. And so we have private class pages that get sent to the families, and that's where you're going to find all the details, anything you need. Every week, you're going to have the lessons, the resources. I mean, everything that you're going to need is there in that class page. So when you get that class page, bookmark it. I'm telling y'all, that's a tip from one homeschool mom to another. You bookmark it on your thing. I put it on my child's device that they're going to be using. We bookmark it on there. And so everybody, that class page is what you are living out of all month long. And so have those class pages saved, and that's where they'll go to get their Zoom link. They'll go to get any classwork. They'll go to get any resources that they're going to need. And so it really does make it so helpful to just get on. Each student, I fill out the little form, what classes they want, what they need. I get that class page, I bookmark it, and then we're off to the races, right? We're rolling, we're getting it done. And so, we've got the first couple months up ready and available for you to go in and do that. Some of our classes do require an assessment or an evaluation, just to make sure that we have your student in the right spot. We want to meet our kids where they're at. We want them to get what they need so that they can feel comfortable and confident. And so, any of the reading classes, the writing classes, those are noted on there if they need an assessment. So when you sign up for those classes, you all will hear from Miss Dorothy going, okay, let's go ahead and get you, signed up and get a time here. Here's the availability. Pick a time that works so you guys can meet and do those. And so I think that makes it really nice. And I just want to reiterate for any of the parents, as you're kind of looking at the classes, you're listening to the videos, you're looking at the website, you're not quite too sure, right, where it is, email that teacher. We have all the teachers' emails linked there on the website. And if you have any questions about a class, email that teacher and ask them. I'm telling you, they're amazing. They're wonderful. They're happy to answer any of your questions. They're happy to get on a call and go over stuff with you, whatever it is that you need. And if you have just kind of a generic question, a scholarship, financial question, you're just not too sure, HMH Co-op@gmail.com. It goes straight there to my mom, to Miss Dorothy, and she is on it. She will get you taken care of. And so if you have any of those that you're like, I don't even really know who to direct this to, her, she is who you direct it to. She is our headmaster that runs everything and keeps it all together. So I think it is so wonderful to have that. We try to make the website as simple as possible. We've tried to make the back end area for the teachers keeping attendance and, links and all of the pieces together nice and simple. And your class page is going to be where everything is run through. If a teacher has a last minute announcement, something crazy has happened, right? The internet went out, 1 minute before class began or something crazy. It's going to be on your class page. You're going to see a little box that says, alert, 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 So if you need anything as parents, keep those class pages bookmarked. That's going to be your go-to. Always feel free to reach out to the teachers.
Always. Right. Yeah. Any questions? That's the best place to go. If you're even wondering, is this really for my kid? Yeah. All the teachers, all of us, just, give us an email. And like you said, either through an email or they'll meet on Zoom and say, hey, let's talk about it. Tell me where your kid's at or what they like or whatever. And they can help you, or they can even help you find, excerpts from some of the stories or things like that. So you get that time to, to practice or not practice, but to show it to them so they can read it. And then you can hear for yourself, do you think your child's ready or not? But always go to the teacher, because the teacher may say, hey, this is meant to be a little challenging because this is where they're going to grow. And make sure you understand the teacher's purpose for that book, because we're not just doing a book for fun. We're really doing something to help advance their learning in some way. So we have great stuff. I'm super excited. But yes, contact the teachers when you have any questions.
Yeah,
or me.
They're there. And I'm telling you, I know, like I said, that's why I made sure I have a stack of papers here, because I have been time stamping the videos to categorize them into where everything's being spoken about, because we do have so many teachers with so many classes and so many wonderful things going on. And we really wanted you as the parents to hear the why. Why are we doing it like that? Why is this important? Why is this a focus? I think in everything, understanding the root, the heart, the why is usually more important than what it is that you're seeing out here. And so we wanted to make sure and kind of hear why we did this conversation as well, because we wanted you all to see, those of you who've been here and you're seeing changes, those of you who are new and you're wondering why it's structured the way it is, this is our why. And again, the goal is to support you and your family in your homeschool journey, because we believe so wholeheartedly in homeschool, in training up our children in the ways of the Lord, in equipping our kids to truly love learning and love asking questions and contemplating and digging in. And this is something that is going to return dividends to them through the rest of their lives. And so that's why we're so passionate about it. That's why it matters so much. That's why we're all putting in more hours than we care to confess into all of this, because we believe in it so much. And I know I've seen the fruit of it with my own children and in other families as well here. So thank you to you, Mom, and to the whole team here, everybody in front of the camera and behind the scenes, putting everything together. And to all you families, we just appreciate you all so much that the Lord has just, worked through this in a way that it's so cool. It just is. I hear the questions being asked in like Bible classes. I see the things my kids are growing in, and all the pieces. And I'm like, this is so cool. I mean, it's not us all being down in the barn and hanging out every day and doing one room school. That would be the ideal, but this is available to everybody. And any questions, let us know. Go watch the spotlight videos. So much is covered in them. You can go to the website to kind of see the different classes. We don't do stuff strictly by grade or by age. It's we meet the children where they're at. And that's what's more important, is we meet them where they're at so that they can really start to flourish in their level. And so we have some kind of like loose breakdown of categories. We have our littles, our bigs, our preteens, our teens, and so I have all of that listed out on the website where you can kind of go and see the breakdowns and terminology that we use, what kind of age that typically is, just so you can kind of get a little bit of, some direction if you're not sure. But then again, reach out to the teachers, check with them, and they will talk with you, do these assessments and things and say, hey, your kid's going to be great here. This is going to be a great spot for them. I've even kept my child back in a certain level just to make sure that she was feeling really confident in that before we moved up. So we're very open in that way here of it's where the child is, what they need, and where they can flourish. And so, that's all kind of laid out on there. So you can go, you can sign up for classes and pick what it is that is going to work best for you and your family. Try it out. If you have any questions, you need anything, again, just reach out and let us know. But I think we're ready to get rolling, right? Like I think we're get all the spotlight videos coming out. So be sure that you're following along. I'm going to be posting homeschool content on our YouTube channel, Heavenly Minded Homeschool. And so you guys be sure to subscribe to that. All of our old homeschool content will be getting backed up over there. The spotlight videos will all be there. Updates throughout the year, how we're homeschooling, right? All of that will be there on the separate standalone channel. So we can really just focus on homeschool content there, since one of my greatest passions that I've been talking about on the internet for years now. So I have no problem sharing all the things there. But I'm excited. We're ready for a new year and cannot wait to see you all over at the HMH Academy, joining us for these classes and even standalone self-paced classes that are going to be coming out this year. We've got a lot of cool things in the works for our homeschool families. So I am super excited to get all these just rolling, just going. So
get excited. Yeah, for sure.
So thank you, Mom, for everything. Thank you to you families. We cannot wait to see you in class. Email Ms. Dorothy here if you have any questions, and we'll see you all around. Bye, friends.
Bye.